Welcome back to Gin Fun at winemastery.co.uk. My name's John Lightfoot, this is
John Murphy.
And we're here to tell you on this occasion all about gin. And our previous two parts to this particular episode have been Gordon's UK gin and Gordon's export. One's 37.5%, one's 43.
Yep.
43. And we thought that we couldn't go without also tasting the other stalwart of gin, Beefeater. Now that, I think, is a name that's known throughout the world, and
Yep.
you know, I see advertised throughout the world. It's world renowned. We thought we haven't tasted that, and we should do to give it justice. So we'll give it a go, and let's compare it to its probably one of its main competitors, Gordon's.
Oh yes, there you go.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, there you go. Now Beefeater was actually recommended to me by one of my customers, and this we were talking a good 8 to 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
You were 5.
Stop that. By a gentleman called Reg Griffin, who unfortunately has passed away. But Reg was...
Would he be with us in spirit?
Yes. Oh. Well, we'll have this drink for Reg.
Yes.
Well, he was one of my favourite customers. I did used to rate Reg, and this is pre all the kind of when gin went wild. Reg was a massive gin drinker, a very big gin drinker. I was quite envious of him, and this was his go-to. I remember him recommending this to me. I remember trying it and thinking that it was right. So this one's for you, Reg.
Cheers, Reg.
We'll have a little go. That is again, it's different.
It is different, yeah. It's more akin to the export, I'd say, than it is the green bottles.
Yeah, it's moving away from the kind of fruitiness and instead going towards the dryness. Again, the juniper, which I said is more kind of like a piney.
Do you think that the alcohol has an effect on that? Because the Gordon's export was 43, and this is
40 spot on, yeah. Yeah, possibly. Let's give it a go.
Yes. Very nice.
It is.
Yeah. Different. But nice. Very nice.
It is different. There's a different mouthfeel from this one, I'm finding. You know, to describe one as kind of a creamy nose, this has got a creamy texture. It's not, I mean, it is a little bit bolder though, it's a bit more in your face.
Yeah.
And I can definitely taste, you know, we had the 43, got the export Gordon's, and at 43%, didn't really taste 43%. To me, this tastes 40%.
Yes.
But that is not a bad thing, because there is, as we've said many times, the mood thing. And I know, you know, sometimes when you get home from work, you want something light and easy. Sometimes you might have had a stressful day or something. Sometimes you want to know you've had a drink. This is the kind of drink that would let you know you've had that drink.
Yes. It's still quite complex, isn't it? The taste changes as you leave it in your mouth.
I say, there's no real... I can't taste any fruit in there. Like creaminess comes across, but then it has the juniper in there, but it's also has... I know it's described as a dry, but there's a touch of sweetness right at the back of my tongue, right at the middle at the back. It just comes through there. And even as you're talking there, obviously the alcohol is coming out a little bit more. And that kind of changes things as well. Interestingly.
Very, yeah. That is a very nice gin. Again, I can understand exactly why it's been so successful.
But I'm probably overlooked now because of however other many gins there are. People, you know, the Beefeater, the Gordons, they're almost like household names, aren't they, in the gin world? So something like that.
I think it's still in a lot of cabinets. I think it's still there. And I'm sure, you know, obviously a lot of gins are used for cocktails, and I'm sure probably these are the gins that will be used for cocktails rather than the craft gins that maybe are going to be, you know, sort of submerged in other tastes and flavours.
As you're saying, they are the first gins, and so these will be the ones that people would go to if you are gin and tonic, you know, or if you are, you say, putting in a cocktail, because that's the stereotypical gin flavour. Whereas a lot of, you say, the boutique gins or the craft gins, they really veer off into different flavours, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we go with the tonic and see if that kind of calms the alcohol down a bit?
Do you want to do a flip, or should we just...
Let's do a flip.
Okay, I like this flip. There we are.
How did that? It's magic.
Magic.
So, of course, we've ordered the tonic.
Yes.
And we're going to give it a go. Oh, I was going to just go ahead and...
Well, you were keen there.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think there's much real change on there.
No.
As I said, with with the Gordons, both of them, it's just added that lemony kind of nose on
actually, the smell of the gin hasn't changed at all. Whereas the Gordons, there was a change. You could smell the tonic.
Yeah.
Whereas this actually, the tonic hasn't had any effect on the nose.
Nope.
Okay. Wow.
It's had a lot of effect on the flavour.
It has. It's like zoomed it out, magnified it.
That is
Wow. Yeah.
See, that is probably now. You know, when we tasted that niche, you know, although I liked it, I was thinking, you know, a little bit harsh. But again, if that's the kind of thing you like, but the tonic has completely changed that. It's taken all that harshness away, and as you say, it's made the flavour zoom out. You're picking up much more from the actual gin.
And it's maintained its complexness, isn't it? It's the taste keeps on coming. It keeps on rolling. Yeah.
We've still got that. The juniper still coming through nice and strong. You gotta say, without the alcohol burn, you can just appreciate more of it.
Yeah. That's pretty nice.
That is nice. So not only is it with number 1 and 2 there, you know, the tonic, as we said, didn't kind of half mask it a little bit. This one is quite the opposite. The tonic has helped that. The tonic's helped that flourish. Now I see why that is
so popular, and why Reg liked it.
Yeah, the Reg. Yeah, you were right, Reg. You were right.
Excellent. Well, you could certainly want another one or two of those, wouldn't you?
I think he could, because I think that's the kind of. I don't think one's enough. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes when you get a taste for something,
you want more of that.
Want a bit more of that, and that is definitely that type of alcohol.
Yeah, that is lush.
Okay.
Very good. Well, again, I think that the mainstream gins, I think they've held up their own against the artisan gins. And I love artisan gins, don't get me wrong, but these are still worth trying, guys, if you haven't so far. Very nice indeed.
If you're into gin.
And it'd be interesting to taste these. I mean, do you remember that when we were doing with Jackson Gin, Jacqueline, who was the distiller of the gin, the proprietor of the company, said that quite often when people say they don't like gin and tonic, she actually finds they don't mean that. What they mean is they don't like tonic. So if they have gin with a different mixer, they actually can quite like it. So it might be worthwhile trying that. So if we find up a combination, we'll put a cocktail on with a different mixer.
Yeah, why not?
Why not indeed? Well, I really enjoyed that, John.
I always enjoy gin fun.
Oh, gin fun.
Gin fun with Wine Master. I like it.
Okay, well, our next episode is probably going to be back to wine, but I'm sure it won't be too long before we'll be tasting some more gin.
Oh, that's what I like to hear, John. Brilliant. Yeah, fabulous.
See you there.
Gin.
Gin.